of this up on Letitia James. He's the source of all this information. Sam, thank you so much for joining us here on the set.
Thank you for having me on, sir.
You're a New Yorker. You live right down the street, and this is some fantastic work here. I want to start and get into just the specifics first. Starting with this Virginia property that she claimed as her primary residence while she was, I mean, this is Norfolk, Virginia. This is probably a 5-6 hour drive, claiming it's her primary residence while she's the AG of New York. From your report, you say James signed a specific power of attorney declaring her intent to make 604 Sterling Street in Norfolk, Virginia, her principal residence, a legally binding statement that may have automatically vacated her position as New York Attorney General under Public Officers Law 30. A declaration that came just 45 days before she launched her case, her civil fraud case against Donald Trump. Tell us more about what happened in Virginia here.
She purchased a property with a relative. It was in 2023, a few weeks. She closed
2 years
on,
ago, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She closed on it right before the Trump trial. And in the file documents with the county clerk's office, there was a power of attorney that she gave her cousin or niece to close the mortgage.
Yep.
And on the power of attorney, she represented that I intend to use this property as my primary residence. Now, there's two problems with that. The first problem is she lied on a power of attorney. Would anybody really believe that she was going to move to Virginia in the middle of the Trump trial? Second part is there's Section 6 of the mortgage that states that the borrower, meaning her and her niece, have to occupy the property as their primary residence within 60 days. Not one or the other, both.
Wow.
She at least never occupied it. Right. That's
and what was the motivation to do this? Why lie?
Lower interest rates.
Lower interest rates.
I'd call her a petty thief.
A petty thief.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about this interview between this news anchor at Spectrum News 1 in New York and Letitia James, because this is probably one of the worst interviews I've ever seen in my life. This is not journalism. What we're about to watch, guys, is just straight up propaganda. This dude should be fired, right? I'm so serious. Like, he should be fired for the piss poor job that he did as a so-called journalist in this interview, because he had an opportunity to confront Letitia James with the facts and the evidence around the fact that she is now being investigated for mortgage fraud. Okay. And this dude doing this interview really showed himself to be a political operative. And who knows, maybe he's afraid of Letitia James. I don't know. Okay. I'm just saying that Spectrum News 1, they should fire this guy, right? And I really, really, really mean that, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and play this, because this is shameful, okay? This is the worst display of journalism I think I've ever seen. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Inside City Hall for Thursday, April 17th, 2025. I'm Errol Lewis. We begin tonight with an exclusive interview with New York State Attorney General Letitia James. As we have been reporting, President Trump ramped up his feud with James yesterday, targeting her specifically over alleged falsified real estate records. James has been at the forefront of the legal fight against the Trump administration on multiple issues. She joins us now with more, and we'll see if we can straighten a lot of this out. Good to see you, Ms. James. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Errol.
Absolutely. What is going on here? Did anybody contact you before this letter went out accusing you of this, that, and the other and making a criminal referral about real estate transactions?
Jeez, oh my God. Accusing you of this, that, and the other. This is not journalism. Accusing you of this, that, and the other? Really, my guy? Really? That's how you're characterizing mortgage fraud, defrauding the government, taxpayers? They're accusing you of this, that, and the other. Oh my God, I am about to lose my mind right now. I am about to lose my mind.
No, not at all. And let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. And as you mentioned, my office was successful in securing a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump and others for exaggerating the value of his assets. He engaged in a pattern and practice of fraud. And the interest is accruing each and every day while the case is on appeal in the First Department. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have no legal import at all, have no legal significance. And we are standing up for the rights and privileges of New Yorkers and Americans. I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the president.
Is she reading from a script? I mean, I'm at the point where I think this interview is scripted. Like, she sounds like she's reading from a script at this point. This is insane.
Of these United States.
Okay. Well,
the Office of the Attorney General will continue to stand up.
Let me follow up of some of what's in this this letter. It says according to media reports, which for us in the media is kind of a red flag, meaning that it seems to be based on some social media posts that I know were made by partisan political actors. But just let me ask you about some of the specifics in the letter. They're saying that your house in Brooklyn is a legal 5-family and the mortgage on it is for a 4-family house. Is that true?
So let me just say that, Errol, you know, as any good attorney, I will not litigate this case in a camera.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem with that. You litigated all of your cases against Trump in the public, right? On camera. Okay, you literally litigate everything else in front of the camera. Why is it that right now, when you're facing DOJ investigation for mortgage fraud, wire fraud, lying, right? Basically lying on your mortgage documents. This woman claimed that she married her father, right? Are you married to your father, Miss Letitia James, right? That is a question that a real journalist, not a bald head political hack, would ask Letitia James, right? That is the question that a real journalist was asked. Hey, Letitia James, why is it that you, on this power of attorney, said that Virginia is your principal residence? Norfolk, Virginia. Why did you say that this place is your principal residence? Huh? Why did you say that? Do you live in Virginia or do you live in New York? That's what a real journalist would ask, okay? That's what a real journalist would ask. Hey, Letitia James, why did you sign this? Is this your signature? Are you familiar with this document here? This power of attorney, right? Do you know anything about this? How is it that you can be the Attorney General of New York, but yet you're claiming that you have a primary residence in Norfolk, Virginia, right? How does that work? How does that work, Letitia James? But again, these questions are not being asked. He's well, does your house really have 4 or 5 bedrooms? Right? It's like, bruh, the accusations are more than that. Again, he's purposely trying to downplay it instead of actually getting to the bottom of the accusations. These are not frivolous accusations. We've seen Marilyn Mosby, the former state attorney for Baltimore. She went down on perjury and mortgage fraud, right? She got found guilty of that. So again, these are not allegations or things that other people haven't been prosecuted for, right? This is serious stuff. And for this, again, this so-called journalist, aka this propagandist, this hack, to not actually really inform the audience of what are the real allegations, what's in the documents, to not actually really do real journalism. Again, this is why people do not take journalism seriously anymore. This is why people do not respect the profession anymore. Because of dudes like this. He is a disgrace. This guy is an absolute disgrace for allowing this woman to come on this interview and to softball her like this. This dude must have went to the Roland Martin School of Journalism, right? I haven't seen a more disgraceful interview since Roland Martin interviewed Tiffany Hilliard and softball her too, right? The most corrupt mayor in this country. Softball. Straight softball. Now this dude is one up Roland Martin. He told Roland Martin, hold my beer in this interview right here, right? I'm so serious. Because if this man was a real journalist, when you get a person like Letitia James in the hot seat with these type of accusations, serious accusations, you have to
jump in his ass. You got to jump in his ass. Jump in his ass. His ass. You got to push back immediately. Jump in his ass.
It's important that we will respond to these allegations at the appropriate time and in an appropriate way. But I will not go back and forth with respect to these baseless allegations. I am more focused again on standing up for the freedoms, the liberties, and for the rule of law in the state of New York.
I was under the impression by all of this that what they were really looking for is what they got, which is a headline saying, Tish James is under a criminal investigation. Is that pretty much what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what they got. That's what they got. And it's unfortunate that you have some of these right-wing conservative individuals who are camped out in front of my home and in front of the homes of my relatives in Virginia, harassing them each and every day. And it's unfortunate, knocking on the doors of my neighbors and the neighbors of my relatives in the state of Virginia. And it is nothing more than a headline, nothing more than, again, retaliation against all of the actions that I have taken successfully against Donald Trump.
Okay. Well, yeah, as you know, members of the New York press corps are not shy about this stuff. And believe me, we'd be there in the hunt if there was anything to hang on to. I didn't find very much. That's partly why I was asking you about it.
Wow. I didn't find very much. Again, these people are a disgrace to journalism. They're absolute disgrace to journalism. This dude should be fired. He should be fired. If Spectrum News 1, I'm not sure if they see themselves as a serious news channel. I don't know. I'm not in New York. So, hey, this is just what I'm seeing on the internet. But they sound like they want to be a serious news channel, right? I looked up this dude's background. He claims to be a journalist. How is it that you just allow one of your so-called journalists to softball the Attorney General when you have the actual documents showing that this woman signed a power of attorney? This is a legal document, a power of attorney to purchase real estate in another state in which she declared, I hereby declare that I intend to occupy this property as my principal residence. So how is it that the Attorney General of New York can sign a document like this saying that she intends to occupy a property in another state as her principal residence and still remain the Attorney General unless fraud was committed? How is that possible? But this dude is too stupid to even ask that question. Well, I didn't see anything. I looked through the diary. I ain't see nothing. I ain't see nothing. The real question that should be asked is, do you live in Virginia? Where do you live? Where's your primary residence? Is it here in Virginia? Based off the answer to her question, then you have to follow up because naturally she's going to say her residence is in New York. She doesn't have a choice. So naturally you follow up as a journalist and you show the document to the audience. You say, well, on this document, you say that your principal residence is in Virginia, right? Is this document accurate or is this document fake? Easy. That's all this dude had to do. But he pretends to his audience that this is a nothing burger. This is just the president going after Letitia James as revenge. And I told you guys this is exactly what was going to happen. This is exactly how the media was going to treat this story. Doesn't matter if all the documentation is legit. Doesn't matter if we have all the evidence and proof. We have precedents with Marilyn Mosby, right, in regards to other politicians going down for stuff like this. Don't matter. They're going to just pretend as if, oh, well, it's the Trump administration, and we know he wants to get revenge on you, so it's not legit, right? It's not legit, okay? That's how they treat it. Again, a good question would have been, are you married to your father, right? What's up with that? Why are you putting on your mortgage documents that you're married to your father? Why? Good question to ask. But none of these questions were asked. The viewers were not informed. And this dude should be fired. And Letitia James should be thrown in jail. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.